I'm finally going to explain why I think grooveboxes need more available patterns. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and be sure to check out my upcoming free live stream concert, Freebeat Live, 1 year later. It's on Saturday, July 31st at both 11 a.m. Pacific Time and 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Also, if you'd like the chance to have your music featured in the show, just click the link in the description below. Hope to see you there. Let's get started. So today we are sitting in front of the Elektron Model cycles, and I'm controlling it with the Arturia Keystep 37 here. The reason I have the model cycles is because we are talking about my #1 pain point with most grooveboxes, which is that they don't contain enough patterns to write actual songs. The model cycles, and also of course the model samples, are the one set of grooveboxes that I think do have enough patterns. See, while the Novation Circuit Tracks has 8 patterns that can each be 2 measures long, and I don't want to get into project chaining because that is just a workaround, the Model Cycles has 96 available patterns per project, and you can have up to 96 different projects on the cycles. Now, each of those patterns can also be up to 4 measures long, or 64 steps, giving you so much time available to actually craft a song from start to finish and look at your music more in a linear flow rather than just a whole bunch of loops that you're turning on and off at different points in your song. That, in my opinion, is where a lot of the repetitive nature of electronic music comes from, and is something that I try to escape when I write, because I like my songs to be able to hold the listener's interest from start to finish. I like to use rhythmic foreshadowing. I like to have a lot of question and answers in the music, and I cannot do that on a lot of grooveboxes. However, the Model Cycles does allow that to happen. So let's go ahead and explore this concept on a very basic level. Let's get a kick drum here. Just gonna bring the decay down, so it's just nice and basic. So we'll come in, we'll go doom, goom, gat, goom, goom, gat. Just nice and simple. Let's get a snare drum here. Okay, we'll just put that on 2 and 4. Whoop, 2 and 4. There we go. Bring our tempo down. Nice. All right. And basic hi-hat. So there's a very, very simple groove, and I think it needs a bass line to go with it. So let's go ahead and get a bass here. Actually, we'll do this on the key step. Nothing too crazy. All right, now we've already encountered our first scenario where we want to have 4 measures for this pattern. I want to play a bass line that's 4 measures long. Now on the cycles, all I have to do is go function and page, and then I can set our length to 64 steps. Nice. Let's go ahead and turn on our click so we can get that beautiful count in there. Cool. 3, 4. And just like that, we now have a 4-measure bass line that I was able to go in and just set the track length of the bass part on this pattern to 4 measures long. Now, you'd be hard-pressed to argue that a bass line that was just the first measure of that line would be more interesting than what we wound up writing, you know? That over, and over, and over. That is not more interesting than this. Not at all. So now let's take a look at our drums and see what we can do. So I quite like that pattern and that drum groove to start. So let's go ahead now and copy this pattern and paste it into slot 2. So now let's go ahead and change up our drums a little bit. Let's go to the hi-hat track again, and let's put a couple 16ths in there. And let's change up the kick drum depending on the bass part. So now let's go and look at measure 4 here on our bass drum part and see how we can tweak this. Da 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 da. Yeah. Let's listen to it again here. Nice and subtle. So now let's go ahead and once again copy our first pattern, and we're going to paste that into slot 3. That's because I want the kick to go back to what it was earlier. See, we're going to do something different. And this is all just part of the intro of the song. So we are on pattern 3 now. So this time we're going to have a little snare drum fill. So we're going to go down to measure 4. So da-da, 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 da-da. Why not? Nice and simple. Nice. And let's once again copy this first pattern here into slot 4. And let's go ahead here and maybe change it up on the hi-hats. That sounds good. Let's go, yep, page 4. We're gonna we're gonna increase to 16th notes here. And then this last step, we are gonna pop the hi-hat open and have it go psh. So let's listen to this. Yeah, it's sweet. Let's go ahead now and chain all 4 of our patterns. And remember, this would just be like the intro to our song. Hear that subtle little bass drum change there? Here comes our next fill. Here's the last one. Now that right there was 4 patterns long, and each pattern is again 4 measures. So that's 16 measures long. Just that intro right there would take up all 8 32-step patterns of the circuit tracks, which is just kind of crazy because that's just the intro. And then of course we can still go back into like pattern 2, and we've got 4 pages of full resolution to sequence in, so we could still go in and sprinkle some hi-hat variation in there on all of our measures, you know, just to have some fun with it. We can do that again on pattern 3 on all 4 pages, and pattern 4. Pattern 4 has that big hi-hat fill at the end, so we shouldn't go too crazy. All right, now listen to this. That was just pattern 4, just there. So we put hi-hat variants on the whole thing. So just imagine the ability to make changes on all of the tracks. You know, no matter what instrument you have. You can have subtle little differences each time through in the bass line. You can have the kick drum or any of the drum parts line up with what that is doing. It all is summarized basically by saying that I want the ability to sequence every track on every step across a large variety of different patterns. You know, songs have verses and choruses and bridges and solo sections and, you know, D sections sometimes, even E sections. All of those should have the chance to be unique, and each of those should be able to have variations each time through. So the first verse, for instance, could be played on a tight 8th note hi-hat. The second time through, maybe we bring in like a new sort of arpeggio in the background in the second verse, and the hi-hat maybe speeds up or slows down to either match the arpeggio or let it breathe. This is what I think is missing in a lot of these Grooveboxes, and it's what I love about the model cycles and model samples. The MPC can also do it, but that is not really a Groovebox, that's just a DAW. Of course, the Deluge can do it. That costs like $1,000 though. But, you know, I would love to be able to have this basic sequencer functionality in something with the circuit workflow. I think that would be a great device. Or like the MC101. Or even the OPZ. Now, the OPZ does let you live record and keep most of your resolution if you set your patterns to 8 measures long, but you still only get 16 patterns per project. So that's what I mean, basically, when I'm saying I want more patterns. I want full resolution across more patterns so I can write songs that don't have to be so repetitive from start to finish. So hopefully I was able to make my point clear in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you have to say about this in a comment below. I know you will. If you did like this one, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.